Hey there, RebView here. Between, crazy weather this side and not being that well, this has taken quite some time to get out. And that's aside from the 55 hours I've played to get to this still limited opinion. So what if most of that time has been spent playing one campaign on easy just to experience the narrative? So far this game feels big, maybe even too big. Finding fleets and navigating the campaign map is a bit fiddly, with middle mouse navigation often zooming in or out for me rather than just scrolling. But minor quibbles aside, the bigger map, beautiful city-sized spaceships, and epic sense of gravitas provided by the cutscenes fully encapsulates the 40k universe's absurd scale and permanent theatrical levels of significance. As Commander Spire, hero of the Gothic War, your deeds will feel full of import, while the units with which you will forge new myths are presented from low intimidating angles, accompanied by choral choirs. All of this emphasizes the reverence and actual legendary perception held by the vast majority of humanity for the godlike vessels of the Emperor-protected realm of mankind. But for one complication, Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 also provides the opportunity to play fully fleshed out campaigns as both the soulless, star-cursed Space Tomb King Necrons that serve as a handy reminder that I never watched all of the Stargate series, and the aesthetically totally original and in no way stolen Tyranids, or as I like to call them for no particular reason, Gigamorphs. As a bit of a goth who used to play tabletop Battlefleet Gothic, I am torn. On the one hand, the aesthetic will inflame my raging bias, as any game that looks this good could easily distract me from any potential shortcomings. In much the same way as I imagine Michael Bay thinks lens flare works. The tabletop player in me is still sad the game is an RTS. It would be nice if they could work out a turn-based mode of play, but I accept this is probably for the old ears and probably more faff than a sound economic investment. Back to what is. For those unfamiliar with the first game, it consisted of a strategic view and battles from there. With this game we have a macro galactic view, locked until you capture your first sector. From here you can just about keep track of the position of your fleets, the factions, and who controls which planets. But to find out specifics, you must zoom into the sector view. From here you will spend most of your non-battle time upgrading your planetary systems, tracking down the world's tiniest and least exclaimful exclamation marks. These exclamation marks indicate an opportunity to upgrade a sector resource. Happy hunting! In the sector view, you will be able to move your fleets, initiate battles, and get a much clearer view of any invasions that are occurring. Fleet organization is a rudimentary affair. I've not found any way of transferring ships between fleets. You seem to have to sell them, and that seems like a waste. A reserve roster to allow more effective transfer would be a great idea. I mean, that's assuming that it isn't there and I just haven't found it. Your fleets are limited in size, as are the class of ships available for you to requisition, until you have gained enough renown and rank to qualify for the most absurdly massive ships available in the 40k universe. The combat is still impressive to look at, and destructively fun. The range of mission types unlocked as you proceed through the campaign has so far kept the more inconsequential sector battles interesting, while the more scripted campaign missions are almost without exception an outright spectacle to behold. Both methods of play can end pretty badly, pretty quickly, and you'll find yourself praising like some sort of emperor-forsaken heretic a new and most hallowed deity, the quick save. Praise be. So far the game feels mechanically sound, tried and true mechanics from the first game remain. Combat is tweaked but largely unchanged. Autocast of abilities seems to have gone in favour of more easy access to all of your ship's abilities. The campaign map, however, functions in very much the same way as the last game, or any space-based 4X game, really. We now have a lot more map, which is ace, but it doesn't feel as though the controls have grown with the scale of the game. In the larger sectors it isn't possible to zoom out enough to view the sector in one screen, not without accidentally zooming out to the more macro view. This is a bit of a pain in the ass when trying to plan your way through larger sectors, but it is in no way game breaking, just really annoying and inconvenient. I've got a 40-minute attempted first impression on my Patreon with a ton of gameplay if anyone is interested. I wasn't sure if it was focused enough with all of the extra additions to the game, so set on this more scripted thingy so far. Anyone who liked the first game should enjoy this. Tabletop purists should check my 1-minute-ish review for Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. But anyone else with even a passing interest in the 40k universe, be it the lore or the games, or anyone who has ever thought anything to do with a spaceship was passingly interesting, or fans of Gothic architecture, should definitely own this game. I've yet to play online or try the campaign in co-op, which is a thing, and that's awesome, and intend to give everything the game has to offer a good going over before doing any sort of actual review. But with the huge array of factions to play as, free races given a narrative-heavy single-player campaign with unique cutscenes and epic scripted missions, a range of different battle types with their own random occurrences like solar flares or bastard asteroids that will gladly ruin your day, all contribute to keep things interesting. I reckon the odds are high on me putting out a positive review. That said, thanks for watching. watching. If you like my stuff, share it someplace YouTube will not. There's a Steam group for anyone who wants walls of text posted directly at them, plus occasional game keys, and a Discord group for anyone wanting to experience the feeling of isolation, loneliness, and separation that only my Discord can provide. There's also a Patreon and a PayPal for anyone that wants to keep this channel going. Be well, folks.